Hello again and welcome back everybody to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC and we are getting very close to the end of the year, and that's what we're going to touch on in this video. What is one of the things that most people do when we talk about the new year? Well, they set New Year's resolutions. And we can go through countless ones. And hey, if you want to be interactive, drop down one or a couple of your New Year's resolutions down into the comments section, and we can encourage each other and see who has some. Maybe you're giving some ideas to some other people that will peruse the comment section as well. But probably one of the ones that is most common, and probably the ones that we should really pay attention to, is going to be fitness. Now, I am right there with probably most of you that we could all get in a little better shape, okay? Trust me, we had the kids over, and when we're talking about a 15 and a 17-year-old who are both very athletic, and old Earl tried to go out and play soccer and football and all sorts of stuff. I tell you, when you get into the 40s, and I know a lot of you are older than me. I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir, and maybe even getting a little bit of a sob story, right? But yeah, I think that I held my own pretty well. I kept up, throwing the ball, running around, kicking, and doing all sorts of stuff. I'd have to say that I did pretty well. Uh, of course, as the day kind of came to a close, suddenly I felt a little bit of what I was doing. Definitely was a little bit more high intensive than my daily activities. Uh, but that's just a quick reminder for myself that there's more that I can do. And I'm going to say there's probably more that most of us can do. And when we're talking about fitness, one of the first things is getting up and getting active. Okay. And you can do it however it is on your kind of level, because I'm not expecting you from going and sitting on the couch, 18 hours a day and running a marathon. Okay, that's just not how that works. But you can do little things here and there, and you can get active just by walking around your property, walking around the block, going to the park and walking some trails and different things like that. You get really bad weather, and it's a good thing if you can bundle up and get practice walking in that weather, whether it's uh, really bad rain, wind, snow. SHTF does not care what the weather is if it's going to happen, and you may have to traverse on two legs during things like that. And so it'll give you some practice. You can test a lot of your gear out. Do you have the clothing and things like that in order to withstand walking around the block one time? Can you do it? Did you get wet? Was you cold? Things like that. Uh, there you go. You found some holes while you're working out. But there's little things that you can do. You don't have to go from 0 to 100. And this is where I see a lot of people fail, is that they set their goal and it's either way too high, or they don't do small attainable steps to reach that goal. And that's where I see a lot of it. They want to go from that cold turkey to something with a flip of a switch, and the human mind and body is usually not uh, built that way. And so you put it in there. Hey, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to get into better shape, or I want to whatever. Okay, just make your goal and then go through. How are you going to do that? What small little steps can you do? Well, if I want to lose 20 pounds by the end of the year, do the math. How much is that a month? What is your goal? 20 pounds seems like a lot, but when you're talking it's less than 2 pounds a month, it suddenly gets a little easier. And then you can start doing things. How do I go through and change my diet slightly to where it'll help me with my fitness? How do I go through and get a little bit more active? You can do things, and it's going to go based on it. It doesn't matter if you're watching this and you're an 18-year-old and really good health. or if you're 80 years old, okay, we can all get a little bit more healthy. We can all get moving a little bit better. And so you can do things just starting out. Just walk around where you are. Okay. You're probably into a house, an apartment, whatever. Go from room to room and maybe count your steps. Try and do the outline. Stay on the outer edge, walk it, walk around things, keep going and count the steps. And then, see if you can go 2 laps, see if you can go 3 laps. It's getting active and getting moving. You can do things on a commercial break, do anything. Yoga is one of the things that will help you. If you don't like the term, for me, I call it stretching, but that really, really helps. Uh, you can go through anything, get a free weight. If you don't want to spend the money on the free weight, guess what weighs a pretty decent amount that you should already have? Canned food and water. Take and lift jugs of water. Take and lift cans of food, depending on your fitness level. Do various things that is a small attainable goals, so you can build that up and you will start seeing progress, and that progress is kind of a little bit of a lifting thing. I'm getting there. I'm not at that 20-pound mark, or I'm not to where I can walk 10 miles or whatever. But after 2 months, you've lost 4 pounds, or after 2 months, you can walk 2 miles pretty easy. You're getting there. You're on the way. You are much further along than you was at the very beginning of the year. Small attainable goals. Now you can do things because diet goes into it, but when we want to it, we want to exercise. And so I challenge you to come up with different exercises that you can do, and it can be something very simple. Get up and do a few stretches when you get out of bed. Spend 5 minutes. Just stretch out the arms, stretch out the legs, maybe rotate a little bit, get the back kind of working and things like that. It's going to help. Do that every day. Then maybe at lunch break, do a little bit more stretching, do some walking around. If you get a 30-minute lunch break, pause, take 2 minutes and stretch, sit down, eat, take a load off. You earned it. And then, maybe a couple of minutes before, like 5 minutes before you're supposed to clock back in, walk around, get active, get moving around. Take the stairs instead of the elevator whenever you can. Park further away when you're going to a store, so that way you're walking, a further distance. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and a lot of it becomes creative. You don't have to spend money to go buy all the workout equipment, and you don't have to buy all this stuff that you mix into drinks and sprinkle on your food and all that. A lot about doing a lot of this stuff is all going to come down to uh, a controlled level and how you go about doing it. So if for instance you can slam an entire large pizza, hats off to you. That's a pretty good thing. Uh, but instead of going, all right, I'm going to cut it in half, don't do that. Okay, more than likely your body's already used to slamming that whole pizza. Take and cut it into your slices, and then take that last slice, cut it in half, take that little piece out and move it off the side. You're eating 90%. Okay. You're working towards it. Do that for a little bit, then take the other little slice out and keep doing it and keep doing it. And eventually you will find where that point is of how many slices that you're going to eat until that your body is satisfied and you're not slamming an entire large pizza. It's going to kind of be the same thing when you do exercises. You're going to do a little bit. When you get to that point that you start getting pain or things like that, okay, that's the body telling you, hey, you've reached your limits. I don't get the whole thing of no pain, no gain. Pain is a bad thing for the body. And when we're not doing something that is extremely important, then pain is an indicator to stop. And what that should be is maybe you're lifting something, and after five, it starts to hurt. Okay, 5 is our limit. That's where we set it. So what you need to do is maybe do 4 every day for a week, week and a half, whatever, and then try that fifth. If that fifth has no pain, you've built your muscle and you've worked your tolerance. Now you're pushing yourself a little further. Same thing with walking. If you get a quarter mile and you start getting winded and tired, okay, you've reached your limit. Do a little less a couple of times and then test yourself. When you can get there just fine, go a little further. Find where your limit is, take a step back from it, build yourself up, and then go forward and test yourself. You will find really, really quickly what your limits are and how much you can push them and how much you can raise those limits. And some of the things that you can do is when you're exercising is, you know, go for a walk. A walk is free. And then once you get to a certain goal, hey, I want to walk around the block, whatever, 10 times. Great. Once you've reached that, take something with you. Okay. More than likely in an SHTF situation, you're going to take a bug out bag. Maybe take that bag, empty it out, and put one or two things in it. Okay. You're putting a little bit of weight. Walk around with it. Put a few more things and build up to it. If you really want to know what your limitations are, pick wherever the furthest point is that you would need to go. Take your bug out bag exactly how it is, throw that thing on, and take off walking and see. And this is not for everybody, this is for a select some of you. See how far you're actually going to make it. Go to a park or something that they've got like a trail that, circles or something. Go. Just see what it is. And you might be surprised on how far you can already walk. You might be surprised where you are gasping for air, you are covered in sweat, maybe your fingers feel a little numb, or you got the shakes a little bit, and then you realized you haven't even walked a mile. Okay, I've seen this in person firsthand, where people will do the big talk, and then when it comes down to actually doing it in person physically, they get a really bad surprise. Now, I've seen a time or two where people have a good surprise where they go into it a little shaky and they do a lot better than they ever thought was even possible for them. So, but I do want to kind of close this out with a word of caution. You know your body more than anybody else. Okay. So you have to be the one that sets your goals. Don't let others set your goals for you, because you can seriously injure yourself. You can seriously mess a lot of things up. You are the one that has to set those goals. Listen to your body, listen to the signs, watch for everything, set your goals to where you can measure and make them attainable. Be realistic about it. You can have a really high, big goal. That's great. As long as you're realistic about the timeline and the steps it needs to take in order to achieve that. Go for your fitness, okay? And I challenge you, go all year long, whatever it is, losing weight, walking further, just getting in just an overall better shape, maybe becoming more flexible, uh, whatever it is. Okay, there's probably a ton of things. Drop them down in the comment section, let me know, but stick with it. Okay, we are a community, we are here to help as much as we possibly can. Maybe because I am really big into networking, find somebody in the comment section, or find somebody you already know, and maybe you guys can do some sort of a virtual friendly competition. Maybe you guys can do some sort of working together. You need some sort of just motivation or something like that. Things happen, and sometimes a kind word is all we need to motivate us to, hey, let's get up and let's get moving. It's really easy to listen to the little thing in the back of our head going, just take the day off. You can do it tomorrow. You can do it tomorrow. You can, and then the next thing you know, you haven't done anything for a week, and all the stuff that you've been doing for a month or whatever is now slowly starting to backtrack. So you've got to stick with it, okay? Incorporate this in to where it becomes a lifestyle, because once you make it routine, then it becomes really easy, right? So that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope that maybe fitness is going to be on your New Year's resolution. I know it's most certainly is going to be on mine. There's a few things that I need to work on, but we will see. Maybe one day I'll be able to do this and my shirt will rip, but we'll see. But with that, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you have a blessed day. Stay tuned because there's more information to come. And with that, remember to remain united because we're all prepping in this together.